graph the function. We have absolute value functions and we have square root functions. So one way of doing this is the brute force method, which is you build your table of values with your x and your y. And you just choose a number of numbers, so -5, -2, 0, 1, 5, stuff like that, and you work those through your problems. That way it will always work. You will get decimal numbers sometimes, but you will always be able to do this. So if that's the way you want to do it, you should already know how to do that from doing straight line equations and from doing quadratic equations. However, there is another way, and that is by shifting the graph of the original basic function to make it look like the modified function. So we're going to do this by shifting. In order to do that, we need to know, what does the basic function look like? So if we look at y equals absolute value of x, we are going to get a graph that looks something like this. And then if we want to take that and we want to shift it, we will have to know, how do these numbers modify that graph? So, easy way to understand this, easy way to think of this, is if the modification, if the number is inside the parentheses, absolute value bars are a type of parentheses, then that will move your graph left and right. If the number is outside of the parentheses, then that will move your graph up and down. So as I look at this, I see that this one is going to move my graph down 2 places. I look at this and I see that this one will move my graph right 2 places. It is right because we go the opposite direction of the sign. So looking at my graph over there, f of x will be shifted down 2 places, and otherwise will look exactly like that. So those lines are parallel. The red and the black are parallel to each other. And that is f of x. G of x is going to be shifted right 2 places. So I need to find 2 places over to the right. And the green line is parallel to the red line. The green line is also parallel to the black line. And those 2 graphs are done. Looking down here at the square root function, I need to know, what is my basic square root graph like? So when I take the square root of x, it is going to start at 0, 0, because the square root of 0 is 0, goes up to 1, 1, and then it takes a sharp turn and almost flattens out as you go further to the right. So the square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. So it comes up and flattens out. Mind you, I'm not an artist. So if we are looking at h of x here, we need to figure out, is the change, is the number, is the shift, is that inside the parentheses or is it outside the parentheses? When you have a square root symbol, a radical, you have an understood set of parentheses at the very beginning of it and at the spot where it ends. At the very beginning of it and at the spot where it ends. So everything under the umbrella, under the radical, is inside the parentheses. So my radicand, the number under the function under the umbrella, is x plus 1. The radicand is x. Do I expect you to remember the word radicand? Not really, no. So here, looking at this, I see that it's a plus sign, and like I said up here, it goes the opposite direction. So normally positive would be off to the right, so this, because it's a plus, is going off to the left. So I'm shifting this left because of that. And I need to shift it left 1 space. So I find my -1, and everything just gets shifted left 1 space. So I have a dot there, I have a dot there, nope, that's not right, 1 space, so over 1, we put it there, and then I have 1 space over, put a dot there. So it goes up like that, and then it flattens out. And I did that wrong because I am not very good at it as an artist. So let me redo this whole thing here. You have your axes. You have 0, 0. You have 1, 1. You have 4, 2. 9, 3. And you have your graph going up and over. You're shifting it left 1 space. So there's 1 space there. There's 1 space there. Left 1 space there. Left 1 space there. So it goes up and over. Here, the change is outside the parentheses, so that is going up 1 space. So going from my original graph, I go up 1 space. From the original spot here, I go up 1 space. From the original, the blue graph, I go up 1 space. From the original blue graph, I go up 1 space. And then I draw my line from there. So by knowing, is it inside, is it outside? Inside versus outside. You can decide which way to shift your graph. So inside, go the opposite direction of the sun. Left or right. If it's outside, room to write this. Go up or down as the sign is.